Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. So this is an action-packed video where we are covering such a gambit of topics. Everything from Ron DeSantis feuding with Disney. What a mistake, right? Ketanji Brown Jackson getting confirmed before Easter. Those over 10,000 flights that have been delayed. Some people are still stuck in airports since the weekend. I mean, that's just phenomenal. Biden has called for stricter gun laws since we've had our 120th mass shooting this year that happened in Sacramento. You probably have heard about that. We're going to take a look at that. We're also going to look at what Biden's also, I think, rightfully calling war crimes outside of Kyiv in Bucha, and now we're knowing about other surrounding areas in the suburbs. Sarah Palin, we haven't looked at her for a while, but she wants to run for Congress. Goodness gracious. And if you remember, the cargo ship that I had read on last time, the Ever Forward, ironic name, right? Still stuck. And what my cards were showing that they were going to be, stuck for a bit longer. And some of you in the comments were saying, no, they'll be out by Monday. And here it is Wednesday. And now they're saying we need another 2 weeks. So we'll look to see if they'll be able to get this thing afloat because they need to get it out. Right now, it's not doing any damage, they're saying. But at the same time, this is not a good situation, right? And of course, it always affects us because it's filled with things that we need and all of that sort of thing. So exciting news about membership. Finally, YouTube has partnered up with Apple. So for all of you that could not join because you had issues with your Apple devices like your iPad, your iPhone, in 2 weeks, that is all going to be resolved. So just because it's been so frustrating. I've gotten so many emails. I know so many of you have tried to sign up and it has not worked out with those devices. Give it 2 weeks. But to celebrate, on my website, dianaquarius.com, I am putting in the first angel class. So I'm doing a new angel series called Working with Your Angels. And it's a class where you learn how to have a personal connection with your angels, how to do healing work and readings, depending upon your level of membership. Some of them I go more in depth with, like the angel members are learning how to do angel readings. But everyone will get like the angelology and how to connect to your angels, how to call your angels into your life, how to ask for angel signs. So on my website, scroll down to the bottom and you will see that video and you'll be able to watch the first angel class, okay? I'm going to end this video with a deck of cards I haven't used on screen before that I really like. It's called Angel Answers by Radley Valentine. And the kind of question that this is going to answer is like a yes, no, maybe wait type question, okay? So if you have that sort of question, stick around till the end and I will be pulling those cards. So let's take the most, I'll start with the 2 most serious questions, okay? Some of them are a bit lighter, but we do know that outside of Kyiv in the suburbs such as Bucha, they're finding mass graves. They're finding people with their hands tied behind their back that were executed. Terrible, terrible things are happening. It's been confirmed by human rights groups. I know Russia's trying to say that it's staged, but there's enough evidence that no, this is real. This is happening. And so Biden is putting more sanctions on, also offering more of those javelins, which seem to be helping. And he also did mention a war crime tribunal. So let's look to see if any of these, not just threats, because he's actually going through with them, right? So if any of these issues that are being raised by Biden is going to have an effect on Russia and is going to do something to Putin to make him stop. That footage that I think we've all seen now is just devastating, isn't it? It's inhumane. Not acceptable in any way, shape, or form. Okay. So the first one is, the Queen of Cups. So she is all about emotions, isn't she? So we've gotten this before. Putin emotionally is not in a good place, is he? He is feeling the pressure. he's feeling anxious. He's feeling paranoid. You know, I went into his energy during meditation the other day, and I was actually getting that he now has more than one food tester. Okay. Like he's reached that level. Like there's two of them that seems to be there. And that he is sinking almost like into a madness of paranoia is what I'm picking up on. And I think that's being illustrated in what he is doing. The obstacle is he doesn't quite know what to do about things. You know, because really what is the way that he gets out of this? He's at a crossroads. He's trying to make a decision, but he's not a peaceful person. He didn't go in to lose, and he's someone who is fairly arrogant and egotistical, right? He's all about saving face. And so I've never seen him just simply giving up and walking away. So something is going to have to happen. But look at this. You know, once things get balanced out, so there is a balancing act, a juggling act. You know, I think this is the Russian economy, to be honest with you. You know, it's not good. I think the sanctions are having an impact. I know sanctions can take a while to really do anything, but we're also, you know, going to be sanctioning his family, his adult children even. So that is going to be an issue for him. The world card. First of all, the world is watching, right? We are all watching. You know, he did the one thing you don't do. You unite your enemies, right? He's united all the people that of the free world that's saying this really isn't okay. And this starts a new phase and a new cycle of his life. And how that ends up kind of depends on the next card. And look, he's in for a tower moment. And so, you know, there's going to be chaos, negativity, and there's going to be this point where everything just falls apart because they can't really withstand these sanctions. I know that he wants everyone to pay him in rubles and all of that, but I think that's not going to help enough, to be honest with you. You know, whatever rubles he gets, that's not enough to replace his entire economy. And the other heavy issue, and then we'll go on to some like lighter things, was that Sunday mass shooting in Sacramento. It happened on a street, you know, where there was like clubs and restaurants. 18 were shot, 6 have passed. The ages were as young as 21 up to 57. They did find a stolen handgun there, and it appears that there's a large fight first. Multiple shooters. They've brought in the Martin brothers, right? The two brothers that they do believe are connected with this. They've also arrested a third person. I do feel like there is a fourth person, though. I am getting a fourth energy of somebody that was there, knows something, did something with a gun. You know, someone that shouldn't have been there, shouldn't have been acting that way. But I also get, when I go into the energy of these people, I get like a lot of chemicals. So I think there was either a lot of drugs or a lot of alcohol, people making really poor decisions and being armed at the same time. Not a good combination. So Biden is asking for new gun laws. Let's see if maybe, because this is the 120th mass shooting this year, let's see if this one makes a difference. You know, so often I've read on these and it's like, yep, change is coming, but it's so slow. It's going to be way out in the future. So let's see if we can get some, because I do know that new gun laws are coming. That I can tell you. I can assure you that. However, anytime soon, until we have enough politicians saying enough is enough, I think we're going to be stuck in this nightmare. Okay. Oh, okay. So the cards are a little jumpy. The first card, you know, the card of betrayal, feeling stabbed in the back. So not a great sign for getting new gun laws passed, right? I think that's sort of how a lot of us feel, like our politicians are failing us. The obstacle is the wheel of fortune. Yeah, people are definitely going to have to turn, you know, to their own karmas to deal with that, right? You know, this is creating an awful lot of negative karma. I feel like a lot of politicians are taking a lot of money. Well, we know that they are. You know, you don't have to be psychic to know that they're taking money to keep all this very much alive. But it's also a turning point, right? And it's in the obstacle position. So once again, not great. We get the tower again. So there's going to be some more negativity, some more, loss of life, more of these horrible happenings that we just don't want to deal with anymore. And then, this is, for me, this is the slowest moving card in the deck, the Knight of Pentacles. Yes, knights are cards of action, but look at this one. All four hooves are on the ground. The horse isn't moving, and pentacles are slow moving to begin with. And it's also dealing with pentacles, money. I think at the root of the gun issue in this country, it's money. Big money getting thrown to keep all of this happening. But eventually, and this is what I always get, the light at the end of the tunnel, things do get better. This is a card of leadership, a card of victory and triumph. This character is emerging from a battle, victorious and triumphant, and going through the town, and everyone's excited and applauding him. So we will get there. But as you can see, it's slow, and more things need to happen, which is just, consistent with my readings, but also at the same time, really frustrating, isn't it? It is just so frustrating. Oh, I saw that some of you have asked me. I don't know why. I've gotten a few emails about this. So somebody somewhere on YouTube must have said something about the ETs that live inside the planet. So yeah, and I've channeled them. And out of my thousands of clients, I only have one client who has any relation to them. Because most of my clients, they relate back to the Pleiades or Arcturus or Andromeda, that sort of thing, Sirius. But the Anshar are us from another timeline. So there is a timeline where we actually did destroy the Earth. And so the idea is that they had to go underground. And it's funny because this one client whose guide is Anshar, which I didn't know at the time, she makes her living, her business, from working with rocks and salt and things that are underground. And she is very grounded, which is interesting. Her whole business is surrounded with these huge underground rocks, huge. So, and she uses them for healing purposes. And I have channeled the Anshar. I wouldn't say that they are negative or positive. They strike me as being like humans with better technology. Now, are they physically there? No, because you're looking at another timeline. So you can drill all you want and you're never going to find a physical being. But you can channel them. They are there to speak with, and they will communicate with you for sure. So let's take a look. Ketanji Brown Jackson, like I said, I knew she was going to get confirmed, so I wasn't really too worried about that. She has all the votes for a Supreme Court confirmation. She's, doing great. But will it happen before Easter is the question. So let's take a look if they're going to be able to push it through, get her where she needs, to be by that time. Okay. Oh, interesting. So her cards are a bit slow, but they also show support. So it's interesting. Okay, so they're not the fastest cards in the world. Four of Swords, literally the character is just laying there. So not the fastest card in the world. It's not a negative card though either. The obstacle though, I think maybe this could be a reflection of a lot of people in the country. Overthinking, overanalyzing, being too much in their heads, thinking of all the what ifs, pouring negativity into the situation. So if that's you, remain optimistic. I've always felt good about her nomination. So I think, it's going to be fine. But I think sometimes people get too much in their heads. This could also represent, the Queen of Swords can also represent a female judge. She's holding the sword of truth. It's fair and balanced, moral and ethical, sees both sides of an issue. But look at this. Receiving community support, receiving, support from others, Three of Pentacles, and Page of Cups, forming these new relationships that she needs. So it is indeed going to happen, but I was hoping to get some faster cards. So it will definitely happen, but how quickly, I think that is going to remain to be seen. Okay. So let's look at the airline industry as a whole. So they all had different reasons, apparently, for these big delays. Alaska Airlines are experiencing a strike. Southwest was having some technical issues. Lots of them are having shortages, and there were also a lot of weather issues. So it wasn't just one issue that grounded all these people. I have Annie poking at me down here and she's doing well, by the way. She still does her medicine twice a day and all of that. My mother's cat, it's so interesting because I know some of you, because I had mentioned at the end of my last video, I was worried about her. It was about 3 weeks ago now. I knew something was off with her, so I took her to the vets. I could tell something was off. I mean, I am an animal communicator. There wasn't any obvious signs, but I had asked the vet if he could run her labs, and the labs all came back fine. And then a few days ago, she had what appeared to be a seizure. Her head started to shake and she was doing the head tipping, which I know that can be a little bit of an ear infection sometimes, but that came back fine. So we are still waiting for more test results. But it's interesting because when I noticed that something was off with her, it was the anniversary, the 1-year anniversary of my mom passing, and Maggie is my mom's cat, right? And so I don't think the timing was coincidental. So any good energy you want to send her. She's a gorgeous long-haired calico, really intelligent, a bit persnickety, but she's a fantastic cat, and very much attached to my brother. So yeah. So any prayers, thoughts, good vibes you want to send to Maggie, I will take them. So let's take a look at the flights. I mean, it's hard to believe. I'm filming this on Wednesday, and people have been stuck now for days. This started over the weekend. People are saying because it's spring break, like their vacations are being ruined. They have to get back to work. It's a terrible situation, right? Okay. Interesting. Okay, not quite what I expected. I will be honest. Definitely not what I was expecting. Okay, so the first card, I don't even know how this got to be reversed because I don't really do reversals. And I've been keeping my cards in a box because I do know that both cats seem to get into the cards. So this is a card of like a misappropriation of funds when it's reversed, right? If it's upright, it's wonderful. Everybody's getting what they need and all that. But when it's reversed, it's more of like a misappropriation of funds. The obstacle, people can't go to smoother waters. They're trying to go, but look, the obstacle is they actually can't go anywhere. They're stuck. But now this is interesting. I mean, because I'm getting now 3 major arcana cards. So this is a bigger issue than I think maybe what we're being led to believe, that maybe we need to look a little bit deeper at this, because the High Priestess talks about hidden agendas and secret motives. So there's more going on than what meets the eye. And where we started off with a misappropriation of funds, like we have like the pilots with Alaska Airlines saying they're not giving us a healthy work to life ratio. And some of them are talking about, wanting more pay and things like that. So there's some things going on that I think we don't know about. There are things afoot, let's say. But the government's going to have to step in, I think. Here's the Justice card. So I think there's going to actually have to be some real rulings. There's going to have to be some help from the government to make this right. And then things start to move forward. But they move forward with control, in a controlled way, not haphazard. Maybe leaving everything to the airline's own devices wasn't good. I would say after seeing it this week, things are not going the way that they Should have been, right? So, oh my goodness, Sarah Palin. I thought we were done with her, but nope. But, she wants to run for Congress, but keep in mind, she's going against 51 other people, or she's one of 51 other people, I should say. So there's a lot of people running for this seat. So she's certainly not alone. So let's see if we will have to put up with her antics and shenanigans again. She had dropped off the radar for a while, hadn't she? I guess they'll have to bring her character back onto Saturday Night Live if she makes it back, right? I don't know how great I feel about her. Because I just keep hearing the word disillusionment. Like she's not grounded enough. Like she's not being realistic. And I don't really know anything about the other 50 candidates. So that makes me wonder that that there are more likable, let's say, qualified candidates running that Alaskans may vote for instead. Okay. So the first card is she's plotting, planning, coming up with schemes. She is trying to figure things out, but she's not as certain as she could be. This second wand is not planted, right? So that talks about indecision, indecisiveness. So she's not even firm in the stance, is what the card is saying. Now look at the obstacle. You all know who this is, right? This is my Biden card. And so I don't think it's him literally, he's not going to try to stop her. But at the same time, his administration, what we have achieved so far, all of that, the lengths that we have come through after the last 4 years of what we had dealt with, with the previous administration, that it's now an obstacle. I think if 45 was still president, things would be a lot easier for her. Okay, so then we get the death card. So here we are. So obviously not a literal death, but political death. Why? Because here's the sword of truth. The truth comes out. And so for her, I don't think that's a good thing, right? I mean, for the rest of us it is, but for her, not so great. So I would say if you were worried about that, you can probably let that go. Okay, so we have Ron DeSantis. Good heavens. Lashing out at Disney over opposition to the Don't Say Gay law. Disney's not backing down. And Disney is the largest single site employer. Of course, what do they have to lose, though? They have their own district. It's 43 miles. They have their own fire department. They don't have to pull building permits. How much, building Disney does. They enjoy not having to go through all of that red tape. So let's see if Disney needs to be concerned. Okay, we'll read at this from Disney's point of view. Does Disney need to be concerned about DeSantis at all? Honestly, I think no matter what, Disney's going to be fine. Disney is Disney. It'll take more than one politician to bring them down in a meaningful way. Okay, so the first card, Page of Cups. I think all that Ron DeSantis is offering is that stinky fish. Because you know what? At the end of the day, Page of Cups is all about relationships. And Disney has built millions and millions of relationships with people. DeSantis hasn't. The obstacle, Five of Cups. The card of sorrow, depression, that kind of thing. But you have to remember, they may lose a little, but not all the cups are fallen. So But once again, I think it'd be extremely temporary. I don't think it's an issue. The next card, here's their relationships again. Two of Cups. I mean, Two of Cups and Page of Cups are pretty similar in that sense. So they have forged all these relationships that makes them really hard to touch. The truth comes out. Here we go. Ace of Swords. The Sword of Truth comes out. Normalcy starts to get restored. And the card of balance and harmony, the Temperance card, things being restored back to normal. So if I was Disney, I wouldn't worry too much. Now, if I was DeSantis, I would say that this was not a good political move. If you're going to go against some company that's so beloved and employs so many people in your district, it just doesn't seem to make sense. But all right, before I do the 3 cards, let us take a look at the Ever Forward. So now what they're doing is there's 5,000 containers on this cargo ship that's stuck in the Chesapeake Bay. And what they've decided to do is to remove all 5,000 containers to lighten it up, to see if they can refloat it. And like I said, they're saying right now there's no damage that's been done. It's not polluting, the bay. But let's see, because I told you, and I know I read the comments and somebody's like, no, it'll be out by Monday. Now they're asking for another 2 weeks. So yes, I think it's going to be a bit. Clearly there was a miscalculation on their part, but we do know that boats have the technology to see how deep the water is. And one would think that they would have noticed that they were going into shallow water, but okay. Okay, so the cards are saying, okay, the first 2 cards I'm looking at, they're saying, yeah, it's going to be slow. Here they are getting the assistance that they need, right? Card of partnerships once again. So yeah, they're going to get the help that they need. But look, Knight of Swords reversed in the obstacle position. This is not fast moving. It just isn't. This is going to take some time, unfortunately. And I think this is how, the owners of the Ever Forward is feeling, right? This is not good for them. This is going to cost them an incredible amount of money. And who knows how much of their insurance company is going to pay for this. But also, too, here we go, a card of sin and greed and all that. So I wonder if maybe they weren't putting enough money into, because their other boat, the Evergreen, also had a similar issue, right? So we're starting to see a pattern unfold, in our waters here. So what's going on with this company is what this is making me want to know. But then, things do get better. The Magician is about a new beginning, taking control, seizing that opportunity and making things happen. So it's not going to be stuck forever, right? We know that. But at the same time, it's going to be a while before they can work their magic, because it's huge, it's heavy, and it's stuck. So yeah, it's going to be a while. So let's finish up with these angel answer cards. In here is a yes, no, and a wait. So if you have like a yes, no, maybe wait kind of question, this is for you, okay? I really like this deck by Radley Valentine. Take a moment, center yourself, take a deep breath, and go with your gut. Do not think about it. Which card do you feel drawn to based on your question? Should I go? That sort of thing. 1, 2, or 3. Okay, here we go. The first card is a big no. So whatever you was thinking of, the universe is saying, not in your best interest. The second card is saying, hold on, wait a minute, take a breath. This is not the right time. And then the third card is yes, so go for it. So I hope that helps, Also, this Saturday, members, you have the mediumship class live on Saturday. And right after that is when I pick the 25 members. We go live. I do the messages from spirit. I pick 25 people and I read for them personally. So, all right, everyone, it was a pleasure making this video. I hope everyone has a fantastic Wednesday. Bye, everyone.